What's going on, people? Welcome to another Toronto Hoop Talk live stream. My name is Alam, and today we got a stream dedicated to something we do a lot in the middle of other streams. A lot of the times when we're watching games together, it devolves into just playing around with the trade machine. So I finally decided to set some time just for this. So today we're not doing anything but messing around with the trade machine. I see 9 people are watching live. Make sure you guys hit that like button and subscribe to the channel, Toronto Hoop Talk. We got content all throughout the offseason, summer league, and the WNBA season after that, all the way into the next season. So make sure you run up the numbers. I see my guy DC is in here. CBA really do be annoying when trying to cook up trades. I'll tell you that for sure, man. Will saying morning, boss. Appreciate you, bro. What's going on? Damn, it is morning for you, I guess. Damn. I think Will's from the UK. Boss protection. Appreciate you, bro. Okay, so here's what I'm thinking. Well, we're gonna think about methodology right here. You guys can chime in. I'm thinking we go through every team's off season and look for the teams that really haven't made a move yet. Because I think like at this point, what's gonna motivate teams to make trades? Because the first wave of moves is over. What's gonna? Oh, I see my guy Tom is in here. What's going on, Tom? Tom is tuning in from Australia. I think last time I checked, Tom was newly a father. So hope fatherhood is treating you well. 238. Yikes. Teams like the Raptors. Okay, so this is what I'm saying. I think we should go team by team, look for the teams that have not really made a move yet, teams that might be motivated just to do something to get in on the action. So I'm thinking that's what we do. And then after that, we try to find pairs. So we're going to go alphabetical order. Atlanta. So the way Spotrac has done it is the unofficial moves that haven't been ratified yet, they get put at the top. So you got Porzingis, Nickeil Alexander-Walker, and Luke Kennard. Just quickly looking through here, there's not any other moves I'm missing. So I'm thinking they should not be listed as one of these teams. They should be given some, like they should. I would say those moves count enough to say like they've made enough moves to not be desperate to get in on the action. Boston has made moves for Anthony Simons, George Niang, Luka Garza, and Josh Minott. So the issue with Boston isn't that they haven't gotten in on the action. If anything, when you think about Boston, they might have more selling to do. I don't know what that's going to look like. I'm glad my guy Will is in here. Will, let us know. Do you think Boston is going to do any selling for the rest of the playoffs? 1 second. Let me just get this charger. Do you know if Boston's going to do any more selling? Because then we can include them on our list that we're putting together. But while we're waiting for Will, I will get us looking at the next team, Brooklyn. Brooklyn's moves, they got the big trade for Michael Porter Jr., Terrence Mann. They re-signed some of their players. I think Drake Powell, for some reason, they have a first-round pick. Oh, no, they signed their pick. I think Brooklyn is at a point where they can be extremely patient as an organization. I don't think they have to rush anything. So I think Brooklyn can relax. I don't think they should be included. So up to this point, we potentially only have you can't be a championship team when your number one option at the time can only drive on one side of the court. They're definitely not. I think so. Hold on. I don't need. He says tanking it, as in they're not going to be good. He's not saying taking it. Yeah, the Celtics are not really in shape to be good next year. I think they get Anthony Simons out of there. It's between him and Hauser. Okay, we're gonna add Boston to the list because they have to get rid of somebody. Celtics selling. Okay. Charlotte Hornets. I think they had a pretty eventful draft. They have a couple of vets that they brought in Mason Plumlee and Spencer Dinwiddie. They got Trey Mann, traded for Connaughton. I don't think the Hornets, you can say they're a team that need to make a move. Chicago Bulls, they sold Lonzo Ball. Or they effectively got off Alonzo Ball for Isaac Okoro. They have to make a move. I think they have to do something. They're essentially they're bringing back last year's team with Isaac Okoro and Trey Jones. I think the Bulls probably do something. Especially because last year they had an interesting end to the year. I can see them maybe wanting to build. All Cleveland did was re-sign Sam Merrill. I'm pretty sure they re-signed Larry Nance. I don't know if they traded him before he was a free agent, but they made their move for Lonzo Ball. In my opinion, I think their season was disappointing enough to where I thought that there would be some action in terms of trying to upgrade one of their pieces. Now, what I'm realizing is that maybe injuries could delude them, and they don't think they have to make a move. But I'm kind of surprised that the only thing Cleveland has done is traded for Lonzo Ball, especially when Lonzo Ball, again, we looked this up yesterday. He's played 70 games in the last 4 years. 70 games in the last 4 years. That is a rough stat. Cavs are a second apron team, though. They're stuck. Okay, true. You know what? Maybe the Cavs. No, you know what, though? Who can they even sell? Strus, maybe, but no. Okay, so we'll not include Cleveland to the team. Although maybe Cleveland will sell. You know what? I'll just make a note that Cleveland might sell. Cavs selling. Feels like Bulls could go after Kuminga. You know what? Let's leave. I mean, let's make a note that the Bulls, if they're gonna make a move, they're probably buying, because yeah, they went out on a hot streak. I don't think that they would come out. Like, I think they could definitely just stay the course, but if anything, they would buy. So I'm going to keep a note of that. Dallas paid Kyrie. They got D'Angelo Russell. They got Dante Exum. I think, you know what? Dallas has had a lot of crazy things happen. They've made a big trade already with the Luka trade. They have the number 1 overall pick. They have their little peripheral additions here. I think we're going to say Dallas can stand pat. Denver. Oh, yeah. Denver has made a lot of moves. Actually, you know what, though? Denver has the whole Valanciunas drama. So with the whole Valanciunas drama, maybe they make another move, but it's too small. So I'm not going to include them to what we have going on. Detroit. Oh, yeah. Detroit got Caris LeVert. So Detroit got Caris LeVert and Duncan Robinson. I think that's just about enough. 2 moves for guys that make over $14 million a year. I'm going to say that's enough. Golden State Warriors. Oh, we definitely have to put them on the list. Wait, they haven't made a move yet? What? Okay, Warriors. I'm putting them in caps. Warriors. They belong on the list in all caps. Okay, Houston Rockets. We're approaching the halfway point of the league. Oh, Houston Rockets have had a hell of an offseason. Lots of moves. So, although a lot of this is re-signing players. But yeah, I'm going to say Houston can stand pat. Indiana. Oh, yeah, Indiana has made no moves. I'm putting the Pacers in caps as well. Pacers. Moves should probably be made. Especially because you lost Turner and you don't have Hallie. So that has to really change how you look at next year. Make $100 million between the two. I mean, the thing is like Tom said, the move might be selling. I don't think the move is necessarily buying. Okay, let's look at. So the Clippers, they got Brook Lopez, and then they brought back Harden and Batum. So buying into this age range, literally look at the age of these 3 players: 36, 37, and 37. These are old people. Like, they under no circumstances can sell, given how many old players they have on the roster. So do I think they can buy? I don't think they have the assets. So the Clippers are probably going to stand pat. The Lakers now. The Lakers, they brought in LaRavia and Ayton. I think there's no way. The Lakers have to do something. I'm putting the Lakers on the list as buyers. The Lakers have to do something because like, there's no way they tried out that same team from last year with LaRavia and Ayton and think that things change. Ben Simmons saying he wanted more than a minimum. I didn't hear those rumors, but like, what can you ask for at this point? And then if he takes more than a minimum, right, it would be to play on a bad team. And then would he be okay with that? I don't think he, honestly, I don't know if he loves basketball enough to play for a bad team. Okay, Memphis. I mean, they made their huge move trading Desmond Bane. They maxed out Drew Holiday trades. Hold on. You guys are going to trade Drew Holiday? I didn't know that. I thought you guys were keeping him. Okay, let me know. We can when we get to Portland, we'll definitely examine what we think their trades would be. But yeah, I think Memphis is standing pat. Miami. Oh yeah, Miami. Their only moves have been Davion and Fontecchio. We're definitely putting Miami on the list. Buying. Milwaukee Bucks. Oh, Milwaukee Bucks. Look at this. They've acquired hella players. There's going to be no pressure there to make a move. Minnesota. He said he was unhappy and didn't want to be in Portland. Okay, young Kobe. Appreciate you, man. We'll definitely look into something. Minnesota did nothing but pay their own players, but I also think that that's the most you can do. Also, they have Dillingham and Terrence Shannon, the two players that they picked in the first round last year, and Leonard Miller, I think a second round pick. They have a bunch of internal development that they could cash in on. So I don't think the Timberwolves make a move. The Pelicans, oh no, the Pelicans have done enough already. They traded the unprotected first. The Pelicans have done enough. Who's this? The Knicks? Yabusele and Clarkson. I don't think the Knicks can do much more because they don't have their picks because of the Bridges trade. They don't have much money. They're not going to sell. So yeah, the Knicks are done. OKC Thunder. Yeah, they're not going to do much. They literally have too many of their own homegrown prospects rostered. They're not going to do much. Orlando made their big move with Desmond Bane. Between Bane and Tyus Jones, plus they have a lot of young prospects. I don't think Orlando's doing anything. Philadelphia. Oh yeah, they also are pretty strapped. Although I think that they could buy. But then again, what do they have left to buy? I don't know what their draft pick situations look like. You know what? I'm going to put the Sixers because they're just desperate as a franchise. I'm going to put them as buyers, but if they don't have draft picks, I'll take them off. He said he was unhappy. Just trade Drew to the Kings. They take the NBA's leftovers usually. Nah, man, Drew deserves better. Drew deserves way better. Phoenix. Oh yeah, they got Nigel Hayes Davis. Apparently, he's playing really well in Europe. So he gets a look. But they got Brooks and Green from the KD trade. But they don't have much space to make moves. They're a second apron team. They don't really have. I think they're missing draft picks, right? Anyways, yeah, they're not going to sell. They can't really buy. I'm going to go ahead and move past them. So Portland. Okay, Young Kobe's here. Let me know. Young Kobe. We have them potentially selling Holiday. Is there anything else you think? Like, do you guys think you're going to trade Robert Williams? Because you have Hanson Yang and Klingon. So I kind of don't know what the need is for Robert Williams. Although maybe they're going to hold on to him until Hanson Yang is ready to play and then trade him. But I think Hanson Yang Robert Williams could be on the block. Scoot Henderson. Hey, Digger Ocean, what's going on? So where we're at right now is we're at the methodology. Like early in the methodology, we're going through every team. Just a quick overview of they've been trying to move. Rob, say less. Okay, we're gonna say the Blazers are sellers. We're identifying the buyers and the sellers left, and then we're gonna mess around on the trade machine. Sacramento Kings. They brought in Schroeder, Saric, and Eubanks. They have to do something. I don't know. Yeah, they have to do something. Kings, sellers. Because, like, I'm sure somebody could get Levine if somebody wanted Levine. Spurs, hilariously, like, outside of the draft, their move has been Luke Cornett. I don't think they do any buying or selling. I think the Spurs are just about done. Toronto Raptors, If anything, the Raptors sell, like as in if they trade Barrett, I don't think it's to trade Barrett plus capital to get a better player. I think it's to go down, if anything. But I also just genuinely think like the Raptors are done making any significant moves. I don't think at this point, without a president, they're just gonna like do anything drastic. Utah Jazz. If only we could get Carter Bryant. Brother, we could have had Carter Bryant if that's your guy. Jazz, okay, Jazz, bro, they've done nothing. The Jazz have to do something. They've spent their whole offseason convincing Ace Bailey's agent to not be a prick. Like, they have to make a move. Okay, putting Jazz in all caps as well. And then that leaves us with the Wizards. Wizards, they basically just have the Jordan Poole trade. I mean, they have enough young players that they want to give minutes to. If anything, they maybe sell a veteran player. So let's put the Wizards as sellers. Okay, so we've gone through every team. Notepad. Their notepad. Oh yeah, memo notepad. Here it is. Okay. Whoa. It remembered my last note. Get rid of this note. Sellers that we came up with. Celtics. Wait, no. Cavs because of the second apron. Blazers and Kings. Blazers, Kings, Wizards. Buyers. We are going to have the Bulls, the Lakers, the Heat. Bulls, Lakers, Heat, Sixers. Haven't made a move. Pacers, Warriors, and Jazz. Okay, so this is the 3 tiers of teams that we're going to look at for the trade machine. So we got the teams that we think would sell, the teams that we think would buy, and literally the teams that just have not got in on the action at all. So we got to figure that Zion may be available. Okay, let's add the Pelicans. Let's add the Pelicans to the list of sellers. Then okay, where's the trade machine? Fanspo. Where do you guys want to start? I'm thinking we can start at I'm thinking we can start at the Pacers, Warriors, Jazz. Actually, no. You know what? Let's go based off people we have in the chat. So we have Young Kobe. He wanted to explore the Blazers selling. So we'll start with them. Where's team 1? We're going to have the Blazers. All right. What? Oh, Ayton is officially still on the books, but I mean, he won't be pretty soon. So if we're thinking, so we can look at the buyers and like these teams to think about who might be interested in Jrue Holiday or Robert Williams or Jeremy Grant. Raptors in the confused category. Yeah, if there was a confused category, that's where they would be. Who do we think would want to buy Jrue Holiday? I think he's too expensive for the Lakers. I think the Bulls are a little bit too early in their trajectory of playing like respectable basketball to make a move for a player like Jrue. You're saying the Knicks like Robert Williams? Okay, but what did the Knicks even have to move for a player like that? So let's say team number 2. They're trying to make the play-in. So, but Young Kobe said that Jrue said he doesn't want to be there. Where did he say it? Where's Young Kobe? He said he was unhappy and didn't want to be in Portland. So I'm basing this strictly off that. Robert Williams to the Knicks for 13.2 mil. What do the Knicks have in that category? Mitchell Robinson. Oh, and literally that's it. Yeah, that's it. Because I don't think they would jump into the Hart category of salary, 19.4. But also like, yeah, I don't think they're gonna want to part with Josh Hart. Mitchell Robinson for Robert Williams makes sense, but then you're probably looking to add draft capital. What kind of draft capital do the Knicks have? Where are their picks? So they have a Wizards first round pick. Oh, it's protected 1 to 10. Yeah. They have their own first round pick in 2026. Oh my goodness, guys, look at this explanation for this pick. Sheesh. So the Knicks are a bad candidate. Yeah, because like they can like Robert Williams, but are they gonna like him enough to come up off a first round pick? I don't know. And then if you're Portland, would you have to settle for what's his name? Mitchell Robinson, who's a part-time work from home basketball player? Would you have to take that and like a second round pick? No, you could probably do better. The Pacers, if we're going to look at the Pacers at Robert Williams candidates, and this kind of does make sense because, I mean, they just literally need a center. Man said, I'm down with helping make the Knicks worse. Don't kill me. They won't trade Mitchell Robinson either because it's injury prone for injury prone. Yeah, that would be a pretty like redundant trade at that point. But yeah, we got Robert Williams going one way, 13.2. What matches from a salary standpoint? So obviously Pascal, Tyrese, Nembhard not on the table. You got Obi Toppin, Nesmith not on the table, TJ McConnell. Okay, this is actually something I think would be interesting. I think that they would trade TJ McConnell because of his age. The guy's 33, and if this is a throwaway year, so to speak, right? Like you're basically looking at TJ McConnell at age 34 as like the next time you actually like have TJ McConnell. So I could see them wanting to trade TJ McConnell. Now, I don't think Portland would want TJ McConnell. But then again, if they like Jrue Holiday, maybe they would want a combative, scrappy guard. But at the same time, they already have one. So I don't know. That would probably have to be a 3-team deal. Both dudes are on that hybrid work deal. 100%, man. 3 days in person, 2 days at home. They should trade TJ, but not for Uba, but they should. Yeah. Oh, okay. Interesting. You put this chat right in there. Yeah, but really his values if you hit the playoffs again, though. Exactly. So TJ McConnell is the kind of piece that's valuable to a contender, so to speak, and like kind of useless to a team that's not going to do well, especially at his age. So I could see TJ being somebody that they want to trade in for if they're taking in a player at this salary range. Because again, you don't want to trade Nesmith. You don't want to trade Mathurin. Once you get past Mathurin, the salaries are really small over here, 6.6 and 2.7. So really the two candidates for them to trade for a guy like Robert Williams are Obi Toppin and TJ McConnell. I think they would obviously want to trade McConnell first. Toppin would be the second option. Because now if you like Toppin is who they played as a small ball 5 a lot in the playoffs. So if you lose Miles Turner, then you lose your small ball 5. Like it's almost like you need Robert Williams and then another big as well. So the move to the Pacers is pretty tough. Can we find another team? Who might want to buy Robert Williams? The Lakers already, so they acquired Ayton and they re-signed Jackson Hayes just now. So they have 2 centers. They'll have no one except Jackson, 100%. The Bulls have Vucevic. I don't think they would want to move. Actually, no, you know what? Let's look at what the Bulls have exactly. Where are the Bulls? Damn. The 2 biggest salaries are centers. So, I mean, maybe the Bulls would be interested in swapping Zach Collins for what's his name? Robert Williams, Time Lord in theory, but the thing is Zach Collins is making $18 million a year. That's a lot. So they would have to be Time Lord plus a piece. So now at that point, the Bulls probably have to trade quite a, and also like the Blazers would probably just, I don't know, they would either try to flip Zach Collins or cut him, right? So now the Bulls have to attach draft capital to make it work. The Bulls are not going to be trading draft capital, I don't think, to get a backup center on a 1-year deal. TJ for Christie from the Mavs. You know what? TJ McConnell is a very Mavs player. I'm gonna make note of that. TJ to the Mavs. We're gonna work on that at some point as well. Ochai AJ battle for Williams. Ochai AJ. So like the thing is, what value do the Blazers get there? Realistically, it's like whatever you think Jamison Battle is. I don't know if we'd be interested in putting in any draft capital on that, but I'm pretty sure they can do better than this deal. Bulls want to trade Patrick Williams, by the way. Also, Portland is clearing out space for Klingon. Shout out to One Flamingo. Or no, that's One Flymigo. Oh, hell, damn. One Flamingo? That's flagrant, bro. I'm sorry for doing that to you. One Flymigo. Lakers should have signed Bobo instead of Jackson Hayes. Yeah, I mean, I think the thing is like with Jackson Hayes, you know what you're gonna get. Like, I don't think he's somebody with a lot of potential. He just is what he is, and that's nothing special. With Bobo, there's at least the idea of what he could be. Which, I mean, at this point, I feel like it's been a long time. I may have personally like moved past the idea or like the phase of my life of gassing Bobo, but like, yeah, at least there's still a chance. There's like no chance with Jackson Hayes. Mavs came out and are willing to trade Omax, so you two can add that to the list. Damn, okay, we need to work on the Omax for TJ trade. Mavs get another blah, blah, blah. Blazers immediately get off of money. Is that pimping from... I don't know. Are you referring to the dude in the icon? Because I don't know who that is. Although, like, that is a fly person. He's got the crown and shit. Okay, hold on. Are we just going to move past Robert Williams? No. We got to come up with at least one trade. Who would want Robert Williams? Miami, no. They have Khalil Ware and Bam. And just like the Sixers have their backup center, I think, because they drafted the guy in the second round from Auburn. Nuggets. Oh, hold on. Do you think they could expand the Sarge Valanciunas trade to accommodate a third team? Like they could reroute Valanciunas to Portland for Robert Williams, and then Portland could buy out Valanciunas because he's probably going to leave some money on the table to go to Greece if that's going to happen. You know what? I like that. Hold on. Let's see what's possible. Yeah, this is what I'm saying. So add a third team, brother. Wait. Add a third team. We're gonna do Denver, and then we're going to swap out. No, that's what I'm saying. Like Valanciunas has to, if he's gonna get bought out, the trade hasn't happened yet. If the trade's gonna get formalized, there's a chance I think something like this could happen. Where's Sacramento? Okay, you send Valanciunas to Portland. This team's send Sarge to the Kings. And then this team. Yes. This becomes like the Vezenkov move. This guy goes to Denver. Okay, this works, right? Failed? How does it fail? Who does it fail for? Denver? You are over the allowable incoming amount by 7.8. How, though? Oh, so Robert Williams is making how much more than Valanciunas? He's making 10.3 versus 3.2. Okay, we need to send $3 million of Denver's salary somewhere. Where are their contracts? DeRon Holmes. I think it would have to be DeRon Holmes because Peyton Watson actually plays. Okay, DeRon Holmes, bro. Okay, I don't know anything about this guy. Somebody in the chat that knows anything about this guy. Is he a positive asset? Is he a neutral asset? Is this bad money? Because I think he should have to go to Portland. You know what? I think this makes it work. Failed. failed. Wait, how was Denver able to take on Valanciunas, but they can't take on Robert Williams? Maybe there's other moves that have to be made. Also, guys, give me like 1 minute. I forgot to get my computer charger. My computer is going to die in like 5 minutes. So just give me like 1 minute. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. I was serious about that 1 minute. But yeah, somebody needs to explain to me why this trade is literally happening in real life for Denver taking on 13.2. Actually, you know what? Let's remove Portland from the trade. Oh yeah, reset. How do I kick Portland out of the trade? Do I just have to start again? Okay. What? Oh, you just kicked Portland out of the trade. So where's Saric? No, he's around 5 million. Oh, yeah. Dario Saric to the Kings. If this doesn't work, somebody's fraudulent. What? Okay, this website is ass. What? This is literally happening in real life. ESPN trade machine. Let me see if this trade machine is better. Literally, we're going to use this as the gauge to determine which trade machine is better. Sacramento, Denver, Valanciunas, Saric. Oh my goodness. Okay, so if these teams agree to this trade and it doesn't work in the trade machines, that means that they're banking on some corresponding moves happening before the trade like happens, right? Because I'm sure their financial state would have to change in order for the trade to work. So if that's the case, then that just sucks for this activity because like we can't know for sure whether the machine is accurate to what like the team's reality or not. But whatever. I think we finally found a good Robert Williams trade. Okay, the one that I wanted to make note of. Mavs and Omax. Okay, so we can. Lakers are looking for a backup center. Hayes will be the third center. Oh, is that true? Okay, hold on. Then let's look at what Robert Williams to the Lakers might look like. Where is Portland? So if they send Robert Williams to the Lakers, how did they send 13.2 the other way? I guess it would have to be. So this is the tough thing though, bro. Like the salary they'd have to send is Vanderbilt, Vincent, or Kleber. They would have to come up off of draft capital for Vincent and Kleber because there's no way that's the there's no way that's the best offer they get. So you're saying Vando? Yeah. Would you do Vando for Time Lord? And then if you're Portland, this works, right? Yeah, it works. Vando for Time Lord. If you're Portland, do you have any interest in Vando on a 3-year deal? Like this kind of has the feel of another move that would become a 3-way deal. It's a wonky trade because again, like as much as I think I understand what Portland might or might not want, like the Drew Holiday trade complicates things for me because Vando is CMB minus a handle. That's hilarious. Because yeah, like if you're Portland, I would kind of assume that they won't be buying okay. The way I look at Vando is a finished product. Like he's not going to change much. You know, he's a floor raiser, but not a ceiling raiser. You know, he's essentially a one-way player. And I just don't understand the reason why Portland would want that kind of piece at this stage. Like, I feel like he would be taking minutes away from somebody that could use the minutes more. So that feels off. Yeah, I'm kind of surprised that I'm hearing that Jackson Hayes is going to be the third center. Lakers connected to Boucher. Oh, I would love that for Chris. I would love that for Chris for sure. Let's do Mavs Pacers next. Mavs. Where are the Pacers at? Mavs Pacers. Because McConnell to the Mavs feels very sensible and fits kind of what Dallas seems to be working towards. You said they're down to trade Omax. Omax makes $3 million. So then how do they get to his salary? It would be, I think they would want to trade Najee Marshall. But I don't think Indy would want that 2-year salary. Is there a 1-year salary that makes this work? Wait, Dwight Powell and Omax Prosper. The Pacers would have so many Canadians if this happened. It works, right? Because the thing is, Dwight Powell is a 1-year deal. That's good. Omax is the kind of prospect that can develop this year. Omax and the Blazers. What do you think would go the other way? Yo, this is a sick deal. I think it actually makes sense because they get off. Dwight Powell can just be a body at center for this year. Dwight Powell can be the body. Omax is the value. Dallas gets off of 2 players that probably aren't playing. And they get TJ McConnell for their contention run. Literally, yeah. I mean, they just need somebody to play basketball this year while they wait for Hallie to get healthy. You said Ryan Rube. Hold on. But like, do we think? I think Dallas would be into the idea of getting a vet or like somebody ready to play now. And I don't like. Okay, if anything, I feel like Dallas might be into like the idea of having Thibault more than anybody. I think Thibault opted in. But like, let's send Thibault to Dallas. And then the other way. Wait. Prosper. And where's a 1-year salary? They don't have a 1-year salary. Is Portland interested in taking on any extended years? Is Klay Thompson still on Dallas? He is. He's not going anywhere, man. They're not trading PJ. They're not trading Najee Marshall. See, the problem with Najee Marshall's deal is that second year, man. Nobody's taking on that second year. So yeah, that I think that kind of breaks this trade. That kind of breaks the trade. Okay, let's look at something else. We did TJ to the Mavs. We looked at the Pacers making moves. We need to look at the Warriors. We need to get them in on some action. The easy one is looking at selling Kuminga. But okay, like Steph and Jimmy aren't really gonna. Oh my goodness, that's a lot of money. I know. DC was talking about how they make over 100 mil. I didn't know it was 113. My goodness. They just traded for Marshall too. Wait, are we talking about a trade that just happened? Which Marshall are we talking about? Nah, I don't see any recent trades. Yeah. They're collecting in that arena. Nah, man, Ballmer he's a different kind of guy. Okay, when we're talking about the feasible trade chips for Golden State, it starts from a salary standpoint with Moody. And shit, there's not that much money there. Okay, it would probably be a sign and trade for Kuminga then, because honestly, like you're not doing much with these salaries, and you're not gonna. Oh my goodness, there's literally no salary above the minimum, other than Moody, Buddy Hield, and Podziemski that they could move. I don't think they would want to move Pods. Oh, it's just a Kuminga sign and trade. Okay, so who do we think could actually? No, you know what? I don't know if Tom is still here, but he talked about the Bulls being interested in Kuminga. Let's see what that would look like. So, guys, what do we think a Kuminga sign and trade would look like? No, don't renounce. Modify, view, sign and trade. Okay. Bulls want to eject Pat Williams. Okay, hold on. Let's say 3 years, 2025 salary. Guys, what do we think? What do we think Kuminga makes on his next deal? What's like 20? They don't want to give him that. Okay, let's give him 20. 20. And you know what? We're just gonna say it's flat because who has the energy for anything else? Save. Okay. Contract updated. Save. Say close. Okay. Kuminga trade to the Bulls. Sign and trade for 20 mil. Hell yeah. In terms of what they can do to match salaries, the thing is they have a bunch of 1-year deals, right? They could trade Herter or Zach Collins or Vucevic. But Pat Williams is apparently the contract they want to get out of. That's a rough thing. You want to change it to 22 mil? Undo contract changes, undo trade. Let's go to here and let's say $22. Trade him to the Bulls. The Bulls, like I said, but okay, to get to this point though, do we think that the Warriors would be interested in gaining draft capital in a deal? I don't think that they would be interested in something like that unless they knew exactly what they were doing with the draft capital, which is why I think we should make this a 3-team deal. So, who do we think the Warriors would be interested in the league? I think that's where we should start. We can flip it in a month. Nah, man, let's try to flip it now. Let's try to flip it now. Is there anybody on Boston, Cleveland, Portland, Sacramento, Washington? If draft capital, if it's not draft capital, it's Vooch. They want a big. Oh, they want a big? Then let's run that for Vucevic. Failed? Why did it fail? The Warriors need to send 2.9. Light work. They just signed Dame. Yo, did I miss the Blazers? Did I miss the Warriors signing Dame? Right, so there's no rush to make a decision. Oh, okay. No, hold on. They just signed. Oh, no. They reached out. Yeah. No, because you said that, I immediately searched Lillard into Twitter. The first thing I see is Centel telling me that he signed for the Celtics. That pissed me off. Then I realized it was Centel. But yeah, the Warriors need to send 2.9. Wait, actually, low-key, that's not the easiest thing for them to do. Does Gui Santos make it work? Wait, where is it? No, that's fine. Stuff this. Oh, yikes. Okay, no, you know what? This might not work at this number because the Warriors do not have. Wait, 29. No, hold on. I think I just found a way to make this work. Give me a second. This might get real nasty. Where's Kuminga? Kuminga undo trade. You guys want Kuminga? 2-year deal. And then let's go Kuminga to the Bulls. I think I just made it work. What? I just raised my hands for no reason. 1.4? Oh, but they can do this. They can supplement this with a contract to make it work. So now, where's his ass? Santos to Chicago. There we go. What? Kuminga sign and trade must be either 3 or 4 years. Oh, yikes. Yikes. Okay. So if the Bulls want Kuminga, what we're learning is that they need to do they need to give the guy a crazy contract. Trade to the Bulls. Try the trade. Did it work finally? It worked. Okay. So if the Bulls want Kuminga, they can get Kuminga, but it's going to cost them a lot. That shit is not going to be cheap. Bush just bottom out and rebuild that way. I think so too. But like teams seem to be, I'll put it this way. General managers have to do that early in their tenure because a lot of them don't have the clout or like the pull in the organization to do it later on. So I think with the Bulls, their current management has been at it for a few years. So I think that they don't really have the time to do it. I think the Bucks they're destined to do it whether they know it or not. So yeah, like the Bucks can run away from it all they want. It's happening. All right, let's try something else. So we got some action for the Warriors. Last team that we need to get something working for is the Jazz. So what kind of move do we see the Jazz making? They bought out Jordan Clarkson. I think they flipped Colin Sexton somewhere, right? Let me see. Let me see if I remember that correctly. I think Sexton ended up on the Hornets. Sexton trade. Wait, I'm tripping. He didn't get traded? Guys, am I wrong? I thought Colin Sexton got traded. Yeah, he is a Hornet. What did that trade look like? Because I think he's still on the Jazz here, which means the trade isn't official. But I saw content for him, like videos of him on the Jazz. Oh, they got Nurkic back. That's disgusting. Okay, that's oh my goodness. I mean, okay, maybe they would trade John Collins. Yeah, okay. So the only move the Jazz could make is a John Collins trade. If anybody here knows who might be interested in a John Collins, we can work on that. But aside from that, like the Jazz, they're in a rough spot. Looking at the teams that are buying, actually, I have the tab here as well. Out of the buying teams, do I think the Bulls would be interested in John Collins? No. Do I think the Lakers would be interested in John Collins? Maybe. Do I think the Heat would be interested in John Collins? I don't think that that's a Heat player. The Sixers, you know what? Let's work on that nonsense. This trade is pure nonsense. I understand people, but let's work on it. Nope. Just looked at the salaries. Impossible. Let's check on Miami to make sure. Oh, wait a minute. They have this glorious Terry Rozier money that they can do something with Collins for Vando and Gabe. You know what? That makes sense. The other thing that I'm wondering though is that could we have a John Collins for Terry? Oh shit, they make the same money. What kind of draft capital do you think would have to go into this kind of a deal? I think Miami would have to trade. Let's see their draft pick situation. Picks, yikes, they don't have many. So no, they have their own first. They have their own second. They have no first in 2027. But then they seem to be pretty draft pick neutral, so they could come up off as second for John Collins. Like Miami is another team we determined they need in on some action. But what I'm realizing is we need to look at what Miami could get with the Terry Rozier expiring. So let's look at other teams that are selling. Celtics. Nah. Just nah. Okay, who else is selling? The Cavs? Could the Cavs? Because the thing I'm thinking about with the Rozier deal, I wonder if Rozier would be interested in taking a buyout. What I'm realizing is he probably wouldn't, because he's not the kind of free agent. Given what happened, like I just think that there's probably not a stigma, but I don't think he'll get any more than the minimum on the open market. So I don't think he'll give back much. He'll give back much in a buyout. So he's probably not a candidate for the team selling to get under the apron. Terry Rozier, we can think about Portland, Sacramento. Oh, the Pelicans and Wizards. Wait a minute. Oh, I just had an idea just popped up. Miami and Washington seem like pretty good trade partners. Yo, look at all these vets. Look at all these vets over here. Oh my God, Marcus Smart is a Heat culture ass player if there ever was one. My goodness, man. Send Terry Rozier to Washington. Send Marcus Smart to Miami. Oh my goodness. This is gonna happen, people. This is gonna happen. Pat Riley loves Marcus Smarts. Okay. Up to this point, I think the best trade that's been come up with is the TJ McConnell to Dallas for Dwight Powell and Omax Prosper deal. But yeah, I mean, this one there would have to be some draft capital to make it work. But I don't think you have to trade a first for Marcus Smart. I think Washington will happily take some seconds. And then they get to take on Terry Rozier. You know, they're also giving Miami cap relief, so they can ask for some draft capital for not only the player upgrade, but also the cap relief. And then, you know, there's not much pressure in Washington, so they can just take Terry Rozier and let him rebuild his career. But the other team I'm thinking the Miami Heat might want to do business with, where are they? No, wrong team. New Orleans Pelicans. So the question becomes like, no, you know what though? Hold on, because where did Kenyon? You were talking about Zion being available. I just realized they traded a 2026 unprotected first, so Zion won't be available because they're not going to sell. They can't sell. They have to try to be good. Matter of fact, they might buy. Nope, they don't have the picks to buy. What a weird spot. So no, it's not going to be New Orleans. What was the other team on the list? Kings. The Kings. Actually, you know what we can look at is that what would Miami have to do to get Zach LaVine? I'm going to try this. I know it's not going to work. I just want to see how much money they're off. They need to get off of. They need to get off of 20.8. 20.8. How does Miami get rid of 20.8? Ooh, they get Fontecchio. They got Fontecchio in the sign and trade, right? Fontecchio doesn't make that much money. Actually, let me see for sure how. Simone Fontecchio Spotrac. $8.3. That's not much. Kyle Anderson. Oh shit. Okay, so they actually don't have. It would have to be. I don't think Fontecchio can be aggregated in a trade though. It would probably have to be Wiggins. But now the Kings probably have to add some salary. No, this works. Thoughts on trading for Murray, DeJounte to the Raptors, maybe quickly plus depth deal? I just think that, like, to be honest, with New Orleans, the move that they made trading their unprotected 2026 first, that tells you how they feel about the roster. If they made that move, they think they're good. Like, they think Zion and DeJounte are going to be good pieces. So with that in mind, I think that they would only trade DeJounte if they realize he's not good anymore because of the injuries and whatnot. So the thing about DeJounte for me is that I think he only sees the market if he's asked. If he's remotely good, I think New Orleans holds on to him. All right. Any other moves we can do? Who have we not shown any love to? We've done some Blazers stuff. We've done some Wizards, Kings, Pelicans. I'm realizing we don't have much to do. We focus on the Bulls, Lakers, Heat, Sixers. Sixers don't have much to do from a salary standpoint because they have their 3 huge salaries and a bunch of small ones. You know what? Maybe let's close things out by focusing on the Kings a little bit. See what the Kings the Kings could do. So their main trade chip, in my opinion, is Zach LaVine. So I don't think they're trading Sabonis. I don't think DeMar has very much value at all. So I think their mission becomes, what can we get for Zach LaVine? And then if we think about who could be interested in a Zach LaVine, I don't think it would be it's obviously not the Bulls. It won't be the Lakers. We already did Miami. It won't be Philly. It won't be Utah. It won't be the Warriors. It won't be the You know what? That's rough. The only team I could see being interested, but actually no. You know what? Even Miami wouldn't, because they have Hero. Yeah, and like they have Hero and a pretty respectable chance at getting Dame. I just came up with something crazy. Obviously, man. Let's run that. Let's see. Let's see what your deal is, man. LeBron to the Sixers? Jesus. If LeBron has any sway left, he's going to stop that from happening. But just for shits and giggles, man, let's see what that would look like. Because, okay, the main issue here, no, bro, okay, so here's the main issue. LA is only going to do this for respectable pieces that they could help themselves build with. So here's what that is, bro. Here's what that is. In this case, that is Jared McCain. And let's find him. Let's find where the fuck this guy is. No, wait. Edgecombe. Where's Edgecombe? They don't have Edgecombe? Damn. Okay. So if they were to trade Edgecombe, it would be in 2 months if he signs his salary. Let's say he just gets tossed in there as a throw-in, like the rights to sign him. So that has no salary. So McCain would have to be a part of it. Let's go the other way. LeBron to fucking Philly. Why he would exercise his no trade to do this is beyond me. How did they get to 50 million? They can't possibly do it without Embiid, Paul George, or Maxey. So you know what, bro? Are you suggesting that this is Maxey that goes the other way? Because I don't think LA would do this for Paul George. It would have to be Maxey, bro. I think that's the only. So does this work? Success. This is the only thing I could see the Lakers being interested in. The deal was going for Embiid, Luka, and Embiid. Nah, bro. I think Embiid is too old. I think how old is he at? 31 on those knees, bro. He's 31 with a 38-year-old's knees. Yeah, that's an old man, bro. If the Lakers were to trade LeBron, it would be for future pieces that can be with Luka long term. And in that case, what Philly has to offer is Maxey, McCain, and Edgecombe. But the thing is that LeBron doesn't have much left in the tank either. It's true, but bro, like, this is LeBron. Like, I can't see the Lakers trading him. I'll put it this way. Somebody is gonna sell everything for LeBron. Somebody is gonna do it. So like the Lakers have no reason to pull the trigger on a deal that doesn't have those type of long-term pieces, I think. But if you think about where this leaves Philly, right? LeBron, Embiid, Paul George, Oubre. I'm looking for the fucking point guard. Oh my God, they would have to bring back Kyle Lowry. Yeah, this trade is not happening. And then let's just say, for argument's sake, that it is Embiid, because if it's Embiid, where is Tyrese? LeBron for Embiid 1-for-1. They don't have to honor that something unless Orlando got that much stuff in the tank. You ownership, by the way. No, that's true. But hold on. I think LeBron is the only other player other than Bradley Beal with a no trade clause. Let's actually look that up. Does LeBron have a no trade clause? Yes. Bron and Bradley Beal are the only people with no trade clauses. Actually, you know what? Yeah, he does. So let's look at the other. destinations LeBron in theory could end up at, right? So one of them is, where are they? Dallas Mavericks, right? Because AD and Kyrie are already there. Now, I think these two teams making another blockbuster trade, that's like, fuck, man. Like, what are the chances? But no, this is tricky because what can Dallas do to get to 52 million? What the hell can Dallas do? Do they have sign and trade people? Not really. Yikes. Okay. How can they get to 50 million without these Klay Thompson, Daniel Gafford, PJ Washington? See, this is why this trade would never happen. He is not going to the Mavs. Wait, this worked? Wait, where does this leave them? Where does this leave the Mavericks? So they have their big three is AD, LeBron, and Kyrie. Then they have Caleb Martin, Najee Marshall, Max Christie, Lively would play. Nah, this team is not it. This team does not have role players. They probably start Caleb Martin and Derek Lively, but this bench is hot garbage and the players are injury prone. This team is not doing shit. I think low-key, I think Dallas would rather have the role players than a 40-year-old LeBron. Okay. The other team you'd have to think about is Golden State. Now, shit. Okay. The wild card here from a salary standpoint is Kuminga in a sign and trade. All right. So let's do LeBron to the Warriors, Kuminga on a sign and trade to the Lakers, and then I mean everybody from a salary standpoint, because they're going to need it. And we're going to hope that this is enough. Failed. Hold on. Did this fail? You are over the... So the Warriors would have to send $6 million more in salary. Decide to... okay. So this is where things get interesting. Because if the Warriors have to send $6 more in salary, big up Joel. Yo, hold on, bro. Joel, do you have a Twitter? Because I saw a picture online that I wanted to share with you, but I couldn't find you on Twitter. So hold on. Let me see if I can get this picture to my computer real quick, because streets are gonna need that, bro. Hold on. Where is it? MacBook Pro. I'm gonna put this on my StreamYard overlay. But yeah, so if the Warriors have to send more salary, they can always... one second. Where's StreamYard? Also, by the way, bro, if there's any Heat trades you're interested in, hold on. This man said I'm back. Bro, I'm doing LeBron trades now. I'm back. You figure out the Kuminga stuff? I mean, I figured out how to get Kuminga to Chicago, but now I'm trying to figure out if Kuminga can be the key to a LeBron to Golden State trade. Where is Kuminga? So what happens if we jack up this Kuminga salary to an ungodly amount? 32, 32, 32. Does this make the trade work? Failed. Fuck, why did it fail? By 1.7? No, okay, that we can get by by doing a contract. Okay, 1.7. Yo, Gui Santos, it was real. Success. Holy shit. We got LeBron to the Warriors while not having to sacrifice like the big four. So this trade would allow the Warriors to have LeBron James, Steph Curry, Jimmy Butler, and Draymond Green. Now, what has to happen for it to work is they have to trade Moody, Hield, Podziemski, Gui Santos. They would not give a fuck about these things, right? The big thing is that they would have to trade Jonathan Kuminga. For the salary to make sense, he would have to make $32 million in the first year. Now, for a sign and trade to work, that contract has to be a 3-year deal. So this would be a fucking disgusting deal. Now, for this to actually work in real life, though, what kind of draft capital do the Warriors have? Oh, trade so many of these picks. Now, the question for me that I'm wondering, though, is that this literally leaves the Warriors with, hold on, 7 players on their team, right? If I'm counting this correctly, 8 players on their team. Who's their center? Oh, you know what, though? Bro, if you have LeBron, Draymond, and Steph Curry, would you even want Jimmy Butler at that point? This is my question. Also, bro, Joel, if you're still here, this is what I want. This is what I found, bro. I found 2 Star Boys together. Who knew they would link up? Lakers are trying to go for it, though. Retirement balance has to go, though. Lakers are going to wait. Hold on. Lakers are trying to go for it like they're trying to win a chip. So this world, hypothetical world that we're living in, involves oh, okay, bro, the Star Boys linked up. The Star Boys linked up. This is a crazy link up. I never thought this would happen. I know this is a basketball channel, and this is a picture of like 2 different football players of different kinds of football, but this is strictly just I haven't seen Joel since I've seen this picture, so I had to show him. But yeah, now that we're back to basketball. Hunter Joel, got you, bro. I got you. Okay. Fuck, what was I gonna say? Yeah, this hypothetical LeBron is. You know what? No, we have to tear this deal up because I don't think that you would want Jimmy Butler in this situation. I think you'd probably want the role players. Like you'd probably want Podziemski, Moody, and Hield. So let's say. We already have LeBron going the other way. Kuminga goes to the Lakers. Let's make this money respectable again, because goodness, 32 is a lot of money. Let's say 22, 22, 22. And then the thing is, I don't think that, where is it? I don't think the Lakers would have any interest in Jimmy Butler. So we have to find a third team for Jimmy Butler. Guys, who do we want Jimmy Butler to go to as a third team? Wait, didn't Jimmy want to go to Phoenix? What's going on, Roger? Didn't Jimmy want to go to Phoenix? But Phoenix has no mobility. Guys, who wanted Jimmy Butler? Houston, but he's not going to be there anymore. Like, KD's there. I don't think they need, well, need is an interesting word. Yeah, they don't need Jimmy Butler. Wait, would Dallas want Jimmy Butler? Do we think Dallas might want Jimmy Butler? You know what? Let's get crazy. This would be a crazy deal because, like, these are like titans in the West doing business. Facts, man. Rip both the brothers. Really, really sad story. Really, really tough to hear that kind of stuff, man. Young people, dog. Sheesh. No one wants Jimmy with that contract he's on. This is, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. Fuck. Okay. So we're gonna send Jimmy to. The thing is, to get at what Joel's saying, nobody would want that. But the teams that would be into a bad deal are the teams that are making like an all-in push. But at the same time, bro, hold on. The Mavs are going to start flagging AD at the forward spot. They're going to close probably with AD at the center and flag at the 4. But if they're going to start at the 3 and the 4, they don't have room for Jimmy Butler either. Who the hell would want Jimmy Butler now? Okay, we're going to go team by team. Knicks, no. These teams, hell no. Pacers, hell no. The Bucks, hold on. You know what? That would be so sad for Jimmy Butler. But I think the Bucks might be into it. But they don't have the salary to trade. Shit. D'Angelo, yo, I like the hesitancy here, man. Man said D'Angelo is a great move for the Mavs. Maybe. But Kyrie waiving and instead of signing a new 3-year deal. Kyrie, you mean rejecting his player option? Is that what you're talking about when you say waiving? Let me know. But yeah, shout out to everybody tapped in. Make sure you guys hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. I got content all throughout the offseason, summer league, the WNBA season, and then back into the start of next year. So if you want to support content on YouTube, that's the best way to do so. The Pistons, no. Magic, no. Okay, nobody's going to want Jimmy in the East. Shit. Is anybody going to want Jimmy in the West? The Clippers are an old person's home. You know what? Let's get insane. Jimmy to the Clippers. So we got Kuminga going to then what do the Clippers have to trade to take in this kind of salary? Oh, the Clippers don't have bad money. The Clippers don't have any bad money because, like, they're not going to trade Kawhi. Even though they, Kawhi's better than Jimmy, but Kawhi's, like, never on the court. So as an asset, Kawhi's probably not worth that much, but they wouldn't trade Kawhi. But you know what? This whole trade situation is insane. Okay, so basically, Roger, what he decided is that his player option was for a 1-year deal. He rejected that because it was possible for him to sign a 3-year deal. So that's why he rejected the Mavericks on the 1-year deal just to re-sign with them for 3 years. Fred VanVleet, like the Rockets rejected him for the option that they had, but then they paid him as well. Like it happens all the time. Still crazy that the Warriors gave him $50 million. That's insane work. Because like I'm sitting here trying to find, you know what? There's nowhere this would work. They can't trade Harden. You can't even get close to that money without piling together Powell, Zubats, and they would never do that. The Spurs wouldn't want him. The Blazers wouldn't want him. Okay, let's see. No. Because where would Bradley Beal have to go in this trade for it to work? I think Bradley Beal would have to go to the Lakers. But they would want Jimmy Butler over Beal. You know what? This third team might just have to go to hell. This third team might just have to go to hell. Jimmy Butler to the Lakers. Okay, why did it fail? Oh, yeah. Kuminga's making too much bread? How much money is too much money? Cut 22. That's all of Kuminga. Okay, bro. We just tried to make this work. There's no LeBron to Philly trade. There's no LeBron to Dallas trade. There's no LeBron to Golden State trade. LeBron is not getting traded. So that's something we learned. Is there anybody else? I know, Joel, you just got here. Are there any trades you might want to sort through? I'll hang around for a little bit longer. Maybe I'll hang out for like 5-10 more minutes. If anybody has any trades, otherwise I'll call it a stream. But yeah, this has been interesting. I think the best trade we found was TJ McConnell to the Mavs. Wiggins to LA, the Lakers. Will the Warriors like to trade Jimmy? I don't think they would, but I'm saying in this situation where LeBron is coming to the Warriors in this crazy hypothetical, I don't think it makes sense to want Draymond, LeBron, and Jimmy Butler at this age. Like I think they would probably want to come up off of Jimmy, but it's too late for that. Looks like Flag as a point guard, nasty. No way. Okay, you know what though? I think he probably didn't mean it literally because D'Lo is going to be on the court. The ball's just not going to be in D'Lo's hands though. But then again, Flag is not like you can run the offense through him a little bit, but it's not like a point guard. The offense running through Flag is like the offense running through Scotty Barnes. It's not like a full-time point guard thing, but like you can dump the ball into him in the half court and he can work. Wiggins to LA. Oh, bro, actually, you know what we did? Joel, you weren't here. We did Wiggins and Rozier for Zach LaVine. But then I realized you guys have Tyler Hero. But still, you guys could probably still use a scoring punch. But yeah, that's what we did. Wiggins to LA. Yeah, I agree. Wiggins to LA. What the hell goes the other way? Rui? Are you interested in Rui like that? Does that even work? They need to send 10 million more in salary. Kleber? Are you interested in a deal like this, Joel? Is this what we did all this for? We wanted Rui in the 2019 draft. Say less. Okay. I mean, these are expiring deals for you guys. Lakers, they get Wiggins, which I guess it kind of does. Like they do need some perimeter defense, so that's kind of respectable, right? They would start Reeves, Wiggins, LeBron, Luca, and DeAndre Ayton. You know what? That's not like horrible. Yeah, him and Luca on the same team after going at the top of a draft class. What else could we do? Oh yeah, who did Toronto draft, bro? They drafted Colin Murray Boyles, man. They drafted Colin Murray Boyles. KP was traded to the Hawks. Yeah, so Joel, when we did Miami stuff, the main starting point for me is what the hell can they get for Rozier? And it wasn't much. But I did like Rozier and Wiggins for Zach LaVine. Because y'all have to do something. Because, yeah, like Wiggins, Bam, Hero, Rozier. Duncan got traded for Fontecchio, Slow-Mo, Highsmith, Khalil Ware, Jovic, Pell Larson. You got Yakachonis. Like, actually, no, you know what? Maybe you want to give minutes to Yakachonis and Pell Larson. Heat aren't interested in improving. All right, say less. Never mind. Who else do we have then? This was my initial note of like teams to look into. I feel like we've touched on the last team before I head out, we can think about who Washington could sell to. Because my thing is like here's what I see with Washington. Middleton, McCollum, Marcus Smart, Kelly Olynyk. These are all guys that are kind of standing in the way. Like I think who they're gonna want to actually give minutes to, guys like Corey Kispert, Alex Sarr, Bilal Coulibaly, Bub Carrington, Keyshawn George, and then the rookie that they drafted this year. So they have all these guys that they probably want to give real minutes to. Guys like Middleton, McCollum, Marcus Smart, and Olynyk, they're probably going to want to fade to the back. You can throw in Rashawn Holmes into this group of players as well. So I think there's 5 vets that, like, frankly, they're probably going to start the year in Washington, but they're definitely going to get moved. So the question just becomes, like, who's interested in a Middleton? Who's interested in a Middleton? Who's interested in a McCollum? Who's interested in a Marcus Smart? Oh, bro, we did Marcus Smart for Terry Rozier because I was looking at it and I'm like, Marcus Smart is such a Miami Heat point guard. But then I realized that they paid Off Night. So I don't think you would want Off Night and Marcus Smart. So we have to find another spot for Marcus Smart. You got McCollum. I don't think there's going to be much of a. I think McCollum seems like a logical buyout candidate because of how old he is and how big that salary is. I don't think there's a trade for that deal. And his defense at this point must be tragic. Olynyk, I think he's probably also a buyout candidate. Rashawn Holmes could probably get traded, but yeah, we're an hour and a half into the stream. We did quite a bit of trade machining. Shout out to everybody that's tapped in. Make sure you guys hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. I'm probably not going to see you guys. There's a small chance I see you guys on Sunday, but the next time you guys see me is probably going to be Wednesday night, where I'm going to do a summer league preview, which is probably going to be a Raptors heavy stream. But you guys can obviously bring your basketball topics there generally. But yeah, I'm probably not going to see you guys for another 6 days. So shout out to everybody that's tuned in throughout the 3 days of streams here. I've done a bunch of free agency stuff. We did the Raptors stream. For Raptors fans can check that out. We did the NBA wide stream recapping all the moves. And now we did a trade machine stream. So in terms of the programming coming up after this, like at this point, we got the Summer League preview on Wednesday, and then we got Summer League games every other day. I think it's Friday, the Friday the 11th, and then the 13th, 15th, and 17th. And then potentially a Summer League championship game. I'm just going to be doing watch-alongs for the Raptors games, but as always, you guys can come hang out, bring all your basketball topics. And then after that, we're going to pivot to WNBA. So I'm probably going to do a weekly WNBA stream on the channel just to touch base with you guys like once a week, maybe twice a week. And we're going to ride that wave all the way into the regular season. So shout out to everybody in here. Like I said, make sure you guys hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. I'll see you guys on Wednesday. Until then, you guys take care. I am out.